however, was not currently in use at all. He gripped the frame of the mirror, considering, watching from behind the glass, hidden. A frigid gust of wind reached him, coating the surface of the portal like frost. The warm, damp heat of downstairs was at his back, urging him to return. A shaving mirror, of all things! One that served as a window into what appeared to be a bleak shack of dark wood, not a gilded mirror gazing upon a suitably glittering palace hall. "Help! Help us all!" He ought to have gone back to the comfort of his tower and pumpkin mash and left the mortal to his suffering. Yet his hands were fixed to the frame, his claws digging into the wood. He had already come this far, hadn't he? And regardless of what rank of troublesome scab this human was, the strength of his desire had lit the tether like a torch. Alastor supposed, with an indignant sniff, all humans, whether peasant or king, longed, hated, feared, and suffered, only to different degrees. That was the dance of human existence. They swung from one misery to another, trading partners and rivals as they spun through their ever-dwindling years. The potential for strong magic was still there, if Alastor could discover whatever desire had been powerful enough to summon him in the first place. He would wring it out of the man's pitiful heart like the last drops of ooze from a rot beetle, until he had his contract. Pouring himself through the tight constraints of the mirror's frame, Alastor shifted into the form he took in the human world, that of an ivory-coated fox. Humans had a general distaste for darkly ferocious creatures, but the shifting also served the purpose of avoiding the glamour enchantment that plagued all fiends in the human realm. That curse of invisibility in their true forms had been a parting gift from the ancients, before they walled themselves up inside of their own realm. The fact that only malefactors could shift was proof of their superiority, Alastor thought as he dropped silently onto the floor. Other fiends were forced to rely on noise and shadow to provoke fear in the hearts of humans. While fear could be powerful, the magic the lesser fiends milked from that human emotion was a mere flame compared to the wildfire generated from each deal a malefactor made. Wind screeched through the gaps in the home's slanted walls. Cold pierced him from all sides like 1,000 arrows. The frigid air alone almost made him turn back, but as soon as his paws had touched down, he was struck by wave after wave of agony. Anguish! There was so much of it in the house around him, it might as well have papered the walls. Alastor reached up with his paw, opening the small lantern that hung around his neck. The air wept magic. The power glittered and swirled as it flowed into the enchanted container. As he waited for the gathering to finish, he took stock of his surroundings. The only source of light in the room had been from the dying fire in the hearth. His own hearth was a mighty structure, dominating the room like a glowering giant. He'd instructed the goblins to craft it from the finest dragon glass and encrust it with petrified elf hearts. This one, however, was little more than a pile of scorched stones, and the figure that sat before it was even less impressive by his estimation. It was a shapeless creature, wrapped in a faded quilt. A woman? The magic now seemed to be streaming solely from her. It rose from her shoulders in great shuddering waves. A fearsome pain indeed. It would be a simple thing to make a deal with a creature so vulnerable. Yet the tether did not lead to her. It led outside. Her desire, it seemed, was not within his power.